this was Among Us, be getting voted off.
Yeah, she's sus. Yeah, they sus. All three of them are sus, but she's safe.
That's right.
I want to go to church with this girl.
Wait, how should I introduce you? You're Ryan from One Man Revolution now, or what?
No, from Many Women Counter Revolution. I specialize in digital content creation and helping people become better content creators. That's the best way to say it. That's what I do. That's what I do, whether or not that's publicized or not. But you can just talk about absurdity. That's fine, and that we've been friends for a while, and that I'm Adventist if you want.
Well, let's not give the ladies too much red meat here, okay?
Hey.
That'll push them over the edge, man. Well, I guess then welcome back to another video on Peoria Adventist channel. Joined today by my friend Ryan Becker, who is I don't know. I find a cool title for you. Like Podfather is kind of taken.
You can just call me the Ryan Becker.
The Ryan
That's
Becker.
Totally fine.
The Ryan
That's
Becker.
fine.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Okay. The Ryan Becker is with us. You were on this channel, I think, last June, I want to say, in the aftermath of the George Floyd killing. We had you on for a video.
Yeah, we had talked about that.
It's been a long time. So, welcome back.
Thanks. It's glad to be back.
It's not such a somber occasion this time. We're actually going to be looking at this YouTube video. Jubilee is a channel, if you're not familiar, where they do a lot of really interesting things, experiments of self-sorting. So they'll like get a bunch of people in the room and they'll say, "Do you agree with this? Move to the left side of the room or to the right side of the room." And then sometimes they'll have them sit in chairs and talk about the things that they disagree about, right? So one time they had like bunch of conspiracy people and some scientists, and they put them all in a room and had them talk it out and stuff like that. Okay, so this is a video where it looks like there's six people in this ring, and one of them is an atheist. And Ryan and I don't know which one it is. Okay, so we're gonna try to figure out. They're gonna go through rounds, I think, and someone's gonna get like voted off the island at each round. They're gonna vote off the person they think is the atheist. So this is a really interesting thing because in this Christendom that we all inhabit, people can speak Christianly without actually being Christians. And, they can use this imagery of the devil, or they can talk about Jonah, or they can just use these stories and these lessons that we're all familiar with. It's just the inheritance of Christendom. And so this is going to like test Ryan and I's ability to kind of like see through the language and try to identify who really doesn't believe, but they're just kind of like hiding behind the Christian language. All right? You ready to go, Ryan?
Always. I'm always game to find the wolves in sheep's clothing.
That's right.
Those deceivers.
That's right.
I'm here for it.
Shun the non-believers.
We're gonna root them out. We're gonna get them.
Yeah.
You can't hide from us.
These people
probably can't actually. We're probably gonna fail miserably. We're gonna find the most Christian one and call him the atheist or her.
I'm really afraid, okay, because you've pastored for a number of years. I pastor. Like, what happens if we can't find the atheist? Like, what does that say about us? I'm kind of worried about that outcome.
I think it says more about Christian culture than us.
All right.
Let's do it.
We're going to put our expert opinion here on the line. Let's do it. Okay, crazy yelling people. That's not COVID safe.
Tell me about a religious experience of yours. Something profound.
Something profound. I saw an angel once when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah, whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We brought together 7 Christians.
I'm a Christian.
I am a Christian.
I am a Christian.
I am a Christian.
I am Christian.
I am a Christian.
I am a Christian.
One is a liar.
Only one?
The group discovers who the liar is.
I know, right? I was expecting that to be more than just saying I am a Christian.
Yeah.
He or she wins the entire prize.
Odd man out. Hey, that's a great name for a YouTube channel.
It is.
Oh boy, okay.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Do you go to a church?
Do you go to a church?
Yes, I do.
That's a great question.
I don't know where to even start.
I was going into it thinking about myself and how I present myself. I thought people would be like, oh, she's not a Christian.
Hey, Chance. Yes. Tell me about a religious experience of yours.
A religious experience of mine?
Something profound.
Something profound. I saw an angel once when I was like 9 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was really cool. It was creepy, but like in the moment, like it was just like stillness and like really awesome.
In the Bible, when they talk about what angels look like, it's a very scary looking picture. I was like, I don't know if I'd believe someone being happy.
Is that really how you want to start out?
Tony, it's Tony. No, it's Tony. Tony's it.
When my father passed away.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's Tony?
Because the only people I hear like reference that specific kind of description of angels are people either on like the very, very edge of faith, like it's one of the things that they use, or it's one of the things that typically, like, if they've already been on a journey away, they then they see that and they go ew. Which the description of angels in the Bible is not the typical artist painting description.
Yeah.
Or depiction of angels. But I like the fact that he went there first. Really, I definitely know it's not the girl with the pixie cut or the undercut here.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I think she's a red herring here to fool to fool Christians.
Bring in the liberal Christian.
Yeah, that's right. But I am suspicious of Tony here for that angel reference.
What kind of guy, like when you're trying to figure out who's a Christian and be like, I'm a Christian because I saw an angel. Like that, to me, that just seems like that's not the thing you lead off with if you want to prove that you're a Christian. I don't know. That just seems suspicious to me.
I do think too that was a bad question though, because I mean he could just easily say, let me think of a past religious experience before I deconverted, before I stepped out of faith.
I saw an angel.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it
feels like you're swinging for the fences. It's like, are you an American? Well, I've met George Washington. It's like, you're like going too far. There's plenty of other easier, believable things you could have gotten to before that. So I'm suspicious of the dude in the denim. I think that's denim shirt, whatever it is. Not the guy in the middle. The guy with
white pants.
Yeah, white pants. Yeah. I'm suspicious of white pants. And you're suspicious of tattoo shin?
Shorts. Yeah, tattoo shin.
All right.
Tattoo shin. That's his name now. Tattoo shin.
Like an early Christian martyr. It's going to be a martyr when we find him out. All right, let's do this.
That's right.
You want to hear about it?
I don't want to, I know we have a little, oh no.
3.
Okay.
Come on.
The speed round was pretty horrifying. I didn't even know what to ask. I didn't even know where to start.
I can relate to that. That would be difficult.
Don't worry, we're not watching.
First person
Sounds like
I
every
trusted
first
was
date I've ever
Brandon.
been on.
In the very beginning, him and I were talking. I was just like, all right, man, you and I, packed till the end. We're just going to keep voting the same person.
What the heck is this, like Survivor? Why are you picking on Grace?
There has been a tie. 2 people.
I don't even know who Grace is.
So, you guys vote again.
Savage.
Dang.
Oh, man.
Wow, man, bad day for Jersey Shore.
He didn't even say anything.
Really messed up.
Why? Like, give me a reason why you voted for him.
I'm feeling disappointed because I feel like I was based off my overall look. I didn't even say anything. I was voted off,
Grace was standing right next to me, and she was really freaked out. She was just like, I hope they don't think it's me because X, Y, and Z.
Dang.
And I was like, okay, then it's not Grace. I didn't think it was Romy either, but I just knew it wasn't Grace.
Wait, he voted for him.
Is your church queer-friendly, LGBTQ-friendly?
Yes, actually, there's 2 pastors and one is a biracial lesbian.
Yeah, she's definitely a Christian.
Why did you choose a
100%.
non-denominational church?
I was just born into it, so
Got it.
my dad's a pastor.
Anyone else a PK?
Okay.
No.
I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's a PK?
Pastor's kid?
Yeah,
Oh,
pastor's
pastor's kid.
Yeah.
What? How do you not know that?
Yeah, they're usually the bad kids at your school, so.
There's like certain terms
Huh.
I think a lot of people just know. I assumed his lack of knowledge meant he wasn't a Christian and he was trying to like pick up on things as we said them.
How long have you been Lutheran?
My whole life.
Yeah?
I grew up in Scandia, Minnesota, and like a big part of the town was the church.
Well, that
So I
checks
was
out.
baptized there.
Wow.
Do you go to a church?
Yeah, I go to this one out in Riverside.
Do you go
I
to
just
a
started
church?
going there about 2 months ago now. Because I grew up going to more of like a strict church, and then I kind of branched away from it and then went back.
What do you mean a strict church?
So I grew up Mormon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, what
I
a
kind of had to take my own
pull
path
no punches
to
there.
figure out what worked best for me.
I've stepped away from church because it's hard for me to find a church, especially a Baptist church, that's accepting of the queer community. So
Yeah.
I stopped going.
Are you looking for something or are you
Not
just kind
actively. halfway through my answer, I realized I probably shouldn't have said that. Because everyone else was like, oh yeah, they all actively go to church. And I was the only one like, I don't go to church.
So the guy saw an angel, and he's like, I don't go to church, and I'm not looking to go to church.
It was like people were taking it beyond judging, and were making it like they were like condemning me.
Nah, Tatution, man, it's Tatution.
Okay.
I'm sticking with Tony. Tony Tatution.
If it's Tatution, like, then my brother in the white pants is like off to the worst start you could possibly get to in this game. Like, I saw an angel, I don't go to church, and I don't really want to go to a church, but I'm a Christian. Like,
but Matt, come on, this is the Christian story. None of us have a great start. It's all about how you finish. All right, it's all about the journey.
Yeah. And
Jesus will transform him and his experience.
Yeah.
And he will be a new man at the end. I honestly think he was just too honest, but I understand what you're saying here. Like, I'm with you on this. I just think, like, to some degree, but I think Tony is way too, like, PK, come on, man. You're in, especially if you're coming from a church you just described at the end as like super judgmental, and like PKs are a bigger deal in a more conservative or stricter churches. So, unless the pastor didn't have kids, but then I doubt that. So
that's true.
I'm just saying.
That's true. The three on the right knew what a PK was. That's a pretty good indication. I mean, it doesn't prove anything, but the fact that
plaid shirt though saying, I don't know, I was just kind of born into it, that made me suspicious.
Yeah.
There seemed like a little bit of like dismissiveness, like writing off the experience like that. So she's actually on my radar here. But Tony not knowing what a PK was, that one pushed me over the edge right now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see who gets voted off.
Can you read that? I have really bad handwriting. He mentioned that he hadn't been to church in over 3 years, and I was just like, okay.
I felt like his story about being a PK and coming in and out of his faith could have been an alibi.
He wanted to hear everyone else talk. Like, he kept asking them questions. Like, he didn't want to talk about his own experience.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Maybe he'll see an angel on the way out.
So, I think a good question would be like, how would you find your faith?
All right.
So I was actually an atheist before I was a Christian. Like, I was a hardcore atheist, and I was like super depressed. Like, I was like burdened by like my own life, I'd say. And then coming into a life where like you're just kind of getting abundantly filled up with like love from other people and from God especially.
So what made me
just
go
like Chris Pratt
back into church, what really like
Parks
pushed me
and
is
Rec.
I had a really bad breakup. And it was like at this moment where I was at work and I watched this kid die because I work in the ER. So watching the kid die and the family kind of go through those emotions of like trying to let go, I was like, man, like there's got to be something like that can, you know, make me feel full and make me feel whole.
I believe
now I'm suspicious of him.
There has to be this higher power, and otherwise the ego takes us over, and God allows me to realize that there's more than just me. As an artist, I think there's messages coming to me that I'm supposed to communicate through my art.
The way I grew up, I was really into church. It was my safe space. I had a hard home life, and it was where I felt like I could be myself. And then I realized I was gay, and that was really hard. And then I took a step back, and then have come back to it as an adult. It's been
Let me just pause it there, because
struggle.
I know someone's lying here, but I don't think anybody's lying about being gay. Like, I don't think she would make up that story.
But even outside of that, I do think if there's any distrust coming from this, it's the way that they've cut her response. You can tell that she labored over her words here.
Yeah.
But they jump cutted, you know, just to get the summary of it. And that's not helping her. But no, I agree with you 100%. She's really hammering that point home. And that tells me that she really has struggled with this a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be really vicious for somebody to make up that story about being gay when they're not. It's just that this is the safest person, I think, in this group for being a Christian.
I just can't tell if Brandon just is a poor communicator or like he went for this like super sob story here of watching a kid die in a hospital, and I worked in an ER trying to be like really detailed through there, but then all of a sudden he says, and watching the family try and let go.
Yeah.
Bro, how long were they in that hospital? For weeks? Like I don't. Well, I mean,
it sounds like a story you're supposed to say as a Christian.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't sound complete really, and it doesn't. there are tones of it that sound real, but meh.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens here.
I'm a PK, so I was just born into it. It was like summer after 4th grade, my parents got divorced. And so I was kind of like straying away, you know, and especially divorce in the church is like a huge thing. So that was really hard. But I feel like that whole situation kind of like solidified my relationship, just so I knew, you know, there was always someone there for me. And my church was there for me too, you know?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Again, not sure somebody would make up a story about parents divorced. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, but someone would make up a story. She probably is being real about all of that. I just think that at that moment, I think if she is the fake, then everything was true up to the point that she said that really solidified my relationship. I think that's the exact. I think it probably was the split off for her. Also, she hammered in the PK thing again.
Yeah.
There's just, it really feels like she's trying to affirm that identity more. I'm more suspicious of her. And I'm almost, I just don't know what it is. I have a feeling, but no, I really still, this is hard, but I'm sticking with Tony for now.
All right. Well, I want to say a word about the tall dude in the middle, because all the attention is getting on the other people. And he's like asking questions that are good, but I don't know anything about him. Like his answer about why he's a Christian or whatever was just kind of like, I believe whatever, something like I'm supposed to communicate messages through my art or something like that. It just seems kind of very wooden. And everyone else is like making these mistakes or making these statements that draw attention to them, but he's not. And so I don't want to forget that guy.
I don't either. I just think, I don't know. I feel like we all knew someone like this in college, you know, or through seminary. I feel like there's always that one dude who it just asks all the questions, and when everyone's like, please stop asking questions. And there's always that one really, really artsy person that's like all about the nebulous spirituality rather than anything definite or assured.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see who gets voted off the island.
PK, like she knows exactly how to answer. Like,
man, Grace gets it every round.
In the back, she kind of mentioned her stance on premarital sex. So that kind of like was like a red flag.
Wait, what? What?
Okay. Bye, Grace. Bye. See you later.
Okay, there's something, I'm gonna be that guy, but there's something really wrong about the order of people that have been voted out and who's left. They first accused the Hispanic guy, then they went for the black guy, and then they went for the Asian.
Yeah, they tried to get the Asian round one. Yeah.
That's true. I'm just saying, like, there's something that seems just off for me here in the order of priority.
If the gay girl goes next, then we know.
I know, right? Then we know.
Gosh.
You had a good question, right?
Yeah.
You said
so. You were talking about how like you kind of express yourself through art. Like I want to just have you elaborate on that. When he mentioned art as like his form of everything, I was just like, it doesn't really make too much sense.
What?
Cool. Well, like one thing I love about the church is I love to sing.
Okay.
And growing up, like my best memories of church were just singing in the choir. And when I moved out here, one of the hardest things was not having a church. I think that like through my voice, through the hymns and everything, that's the biggest thing.
What's your favorite song?
We were just talking about this, how a lot of the people that go to my church have had similar backgrounds to me, which is they've been hurt by the church. Maybe a song like, Oh, How He Loves Us in the past was great for you, and then you were hurt by the church. Having those memories attached can actually make
totally
worship
Christian.
really hard.
There was this song that like was a big song in my church, the Mormon church growing up. It was like, it's called, I want to say like Families Can Be Together Forever. Man, like my parents, they got divorced, you know, and since that time, like I can't even like, listen, can't even look at the lyrics of that song.
Yeah.
So, what about you? How was like your experience kind of moving across the states? And then
So hard. I grew up in a town of like 500 people, and so the church was everything.
You said that already.
And coming out here and starting that hunt for one that's like LGBTQ friendly and the right kind of like chemistry of people and the right kind of sermons. And I started looking and actually hearing about yours. I'm kind of like, wait a minute.
Nah, okay. I'm coming around on Andrew. First of all, the pivot away, he made his first answer sound like his art was like so important, and then he just talked about singing in church. Like that sounded like a clear pivot into a safe response. Number one.
Yeah.
I think we both agreed that the girl is safe.
Yep, 100%.
If she is atheist, then I mean, well done. Well done. I applaud you. But I don't think so, the way that she's talking about this. But Andrew, on the other hand, also coming from a town of 500 people, moving out and then trying to find one that's super LGBTQ plus friendly. And like, I just don't, maybe I just don't know enough about him to know how he got from point A to point B, but 90% of the time coming from a small town does not lead to that immediate. Like that's not the first kind of church you're looking for coming out of a small town typically.
Well, I mean that may be. So we got to keep in mind this is round 4 that's ending. It looked like they put like 10 minutes on the clock for each round. So they've been together for 40 minutes. We don't even know. They were talking in the back room before it even started, I guess, apparently too, because he referenced her conversation of premarital sex. Which I mean that would be great to know something about so we can kind of follow along here and figure it out, but.
Yeah, I don't know why they would include that as an edit. That seemed weird.
Yeah, that was way out there. But she's the only safe one to me. The other 3, like, but especially Andrew right now, you're right. There was a pivot away talking about how he liked songs. Well, everybody knows people sing songs in church. But like he didn't give any specifics. She mentioned "Oh How He Loves." Okay, that's a specific point that we can understand, we can evaluate. He just said songs, and then he's like, well, hearing about your church, you know, like he's interested. He's like, so he's trying to like deflect back onto her. He's trying to push the conversation back to her and her church. That is suspicious. This was Among Us. Be getting voted off.
Yeah, she's sus. They sus. All 3 of them are sus, but she's safe.
That's right.
I want to go to church with this girl.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna be shook if one of these people are the moles.
Brand. What? Oh my gosh!
We know. You said it. You said if it's her next.
Oh!
You know what's funny?
Why
You know what's
would you
funny?
vote
Pause
her
it.
off?
Pause it. Pause it.
Oh
Pause
my
it. Pause
gosh!
it. You know what to me this says all 3 of them are Christian. That's what this tells me. But I know they're not. But you know, one of them is not. I'm confident that it's one of them. If it really was her and we've been duped, like well done, Andrew. But man,
there's no way. Like she gave the most specific detail. She knew what a PK was. She talked about how many pastors her church has. She talked about one of the songs that people sing in her church. Like, come on.
And she talked about it, how people are still affected by that in a really meaningful like way negatively. If there's negative memories associated with it, like these aren't things that no. No.
Like the Mormon is still up there.
Yeah,
like people leave the Mormon church all the time, just like other churches, but they leave the Mormon church and they don't go to church again because it's like, you know, Mormonism or nothing. Like this makes no sense to me.
If the lights turn green, you voted the liar out.
Oh crap, this is the end. Hold on.
Red,
Okay.
Final guess.
Do you want to do the lights first and see if they were... Yeah, let's do the lights, because if it's red, that means the liar's still in the box. Then we're going to pick who we think it is, okay?
Okay, deal.
the liar's still in the box, and you lose.
My mind's
Do they get money for this?
They go red, dude. Because I'm going to feel really down.
Nice.
So crazy.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, crap. All right.
Okay, so we were right.
Yeah.
So far, we've been perfectly right. I think it's either Andrew or Tony in my mind. But Tony saying he started as an atheist also would explain the PK thing.
Yeah.
Or not
That's
really
true.
knowing what a PK is and still coming into a judgy church. This was so hard, actually. Because all of these sound reasonable as far as like, but I really do think, and part of it's probably we're close to the fire. This is like if you've ever watched like a friend or family member play like some card game and you're like, do this, just do this, and you win.
Right.
And they don't see it. They never see it. But we're close enough to the fire now that it's probably not as obvious. I think All right, final guess. 3, 2, 1. Andrew.
Andrew. I definitely think it's Andrew.
If it was Tony, I'm going to be so mad at myself. But
That's where you started, man. All right. I think it's Andrew. My reasons are, I think he's been a little evasive. He's been the one asking the questions. He hasn't been answering them. He's like his language about Christianity is extremely non-specific and kind of generalized, art. Like he feels like whatever, he's got messages he's got to get through his art. Like what exactly does that mean? He sings songs in church. He misses that. He seemed like unaware that Ciara, like that LGBT affirming church was like available. Like, and so when he heard about her, talk about her church, he's like, oh, well, that's interesting. Like, you're in LA, dude. You're in LA. You have options.
There's quite a number of them. I really do think it's him. I would agree for the same reasons. I think he was non-specific. I think he evaded and pivoted hard into answers that he felt were safe. I feel like he went on the offensive first as far as asking questions and really trying to, like, I think Brandon sounds like, a typical typical story to me to some degree as far as the way that he communicates. That just sounds kind of normal. It just sounds like he's not maybe, not like all the way fully sold out. Like this is my life every day, but sure.
Yeah.
And Tony, I still, there's part of me that still thinks it could be Tony, but I'm leaning heavily towards Andrew at this point.
All right, here we go. We're gonna find out.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm the mole.
Dang it! Hey, you know what? I did vote for him.
Yeah.
We did it.
We
did it.
I felt betrayed a little bit. I definitely was kind of feeling Andrew was like a Christian for sure.
I was shocked because Andrew, he talks like a lot of the youth pastors at my church,
Maybe you should question your youth pastors.
Because I'm gay, if anyone else was gay, I wanted to be their friend. And I was like, oh, he's my friend. I'm not going to vote for him because I really believe him.
She's so nice.
But that's okay.
You and I were right, man.
Oh, you got money for being a liar?
The second...
Oh my gosh.
Those are all dollar bills.
I really became an atheist right after I got baptized. I think when I got baptized, I thought something magical would happen and nothing did and nothing changed, and I still felt really hated by the church. The things that brought them into the church and into the religion were things that I found on my own without religion.
Personal experience, I think, is huge in the way that we experience religion.
I would say that a lot of times we look at Christianity as like a monolithic kind of thing and that everyone does the same thing. Even like if you say the word evangelical, that usually means one thing, but that doesn't usually represent all Christians.
What?
The word Christian barely represents all Christians.
I feel relieved that that is over, but I also feel a lot of love and compassion from that group of people. I was kind of worried how this would go, but I realized that these were all really good people today. They're all amazing.
I got a question for you. So was there a time in your life where you had a judgment about someone where you turned out to be like completely like flat wrong?
I think that's like probably every other month, every year.
Let me just pause it there.
I think you know what changed it for Tony for me was the second he said he started as an atheist, everything else made sense, including the angel line, because that journey is always very non-traditional. And so I could see all of that happening in reverse for him, and him legitimately asking what's a PK. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that one line made so much sense to me, but Andrew got way off track for me.
Yeah. He did a really good job of just kind of stepping back in the early rounds, letting other people do the talking, let them dig holes for themselves. And he just kind of kept it basic. But I think when the field gets narrowed down, you can't do that anymore. You got to speak up, and he wasn't really ready for it.
He wasn't, but he got the money still.
He got the money, and I don't know what lessons we walk away from this with. That we should probably be careful in making these snap judgments because it's really hard. It is really hard sometimes to tell where somebody is at and what they believe because. I think like when I think your point about him saying he grew up atheist really drives this point home because like the person's background, like we're accustomed, like, oh, if you grew up in the church, you have this language, this vocabulary of other people that you share with other people who grew up in the church. and your instinct might be to like disqualify people who didn't have that same kind of experience, who use different language and things like that. And clearly it's not. That's wrong. Like,
yeah. Well, and that's why I think too. The second thing is, I would remember is we're all going to make snap judgments, I think, one way or the other. So being willing to change your mind, being willing to be open to being wrong and acknowledging that. Like, I was wrong about him. I judged him off the first line. Granted, that's kind of the point of the video.
Yeah.
But when well done to the editors who threw that in as a red herring potentially. But I think, being willing to come around and say, hey, I was wrong about you and I respect your journey and the story that you've had. And man, even if you're someone who disagrees with the way Ciara goes about her faith and expresses it, there's a journey there. There's a real story there that deserves to be heard, that deserves to be respected. And regardless of theology, one way or the other, I think the one thing that this Andrew actually hit the nail on the head for me of like, these are all good people who are they're doing their best and doing what they know to do. And I can't fault them for that in this context at all.
Yep. Yeah, I can't either. I mean, I know Adventists who watch this are going to be like, yeah, but are they good Christians,
Yeah, that's the same to the Adventists.
Point. Yeah, right.
I mean, we could ask that question for all of us.
Yeah, that's right. And that really isn't the point. I think, to me, the point is to a certain extent, and that extent may be kind of shrinking as time goes on, but to a certain extent, we're all accustomed to speaking Christianly. And we should be careful about our own selves, because even the guy who is an atheist, he had the background growing up in the church, so obviously he retained some of that kind of language and culture that was accessible when he needed it. But like, we can all fool ourselves. We can all keep talking Christianly. We can all talk about our favorite hymns and songs and our favorite preachers and all that. And all of that can just be like putting palm branches over a hole in the ground, right? Like, it looks like solid ground. It looks like we're legit. So to me, it's like, I guess walking away, it's like, don't be so quick to judge who the real believer is and who isn't. But also, like, be careful, because you can use your familiarity with Christianity to deceive yourself into thinking you're good when you're not. Like, because you can just say the right words.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Matt, thanks for having me on, man. This was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Well, listen, don't watch the other video where there's like 6 atheists and 1 Christian who's trying to fit in, because I want to do that with you sometime too. We'll see if we're just as good there. But this was fun, man. Thanks for joining me, and thank you guys at home who are watching at home. What am I saying? What is this, like 80s broadcast TV? You're in your car. You're walking your dog.
Next time on America's Funniest Home Videos.
AFV, man, still alive. Always. I don't know how, in an age of YouTube, that's still alive.
Yeah, who's still making home videos like that? Now it's just called YouTube.
That's right. That's right.
So,
anyways, all right. Thanks for watching so much. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Go check out Ryan's stuff. Ryan, how are they going to find you on YouTube and TikTok and all that?
Yeah, just search my name, Ryan Becker. Find me on Spotify, on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. Not music. I don't sing well anyway. And yeah, you can find me on YouTube under Ryan Becker as well. And if you're Adventist and want to keep up with the latest news, thescratchnews.com.
That's right. All right. We'll see you guys next time.